So cool. So when you model a head, it is very important that you have a few things. It's mainly one is a model sheet. A model sheet is basically describing how your model will look in a certain, or in a T pose. In this case, a T pose. So this is very important, and better model sheets makes better models. So this one is done by uh, David Revoy, his Blender Foundation. So he has made this model sheet, and it is Creative Commons something, but it is free. But you do need to reference him, basically telling them that this is his work. So that's what I mean. So that's what I have here, just legals, and here's the character we're gonna make. I'm hoping that throughout this series that this will be a series that we have this character at the end modeled and finished and done. So here is some more resources. Here is something I made for another client. Let me bring that up. So this, here we go. So that's the character they wanted me to model for them. And you guys can go to this site as well. It's called Sketchfab. And what you do is you go to Sketchfab and then slash my name. And there's the good thing with this is that you can zoom in. And for example, if you don't know how to model the eyes, so you go in here and you go, okay, so yeah, have a better look at that, how the loops goes, and you can have a look at the different areas that you're not sure of. So if I go to my profile here, there should be, yep, so here we go, all of the different parts. For example, if you are not sure how to model a feet, just go into the feet. And as soon as it loads, yep, here we go. So you can have a better look at the topology itself, and the underside of the foot, and all of the different parts. So you can really have a look at the different things. But today, what we are going to concentrate on is this, the head. So obviously, this is not the same head as everything like the image, but the same principle apply. For example, the loops. All these loops are present in 99% of the time. These loop needs to be there, and there's a reason for that. The reason for this is that these new loops need to be there because they are mimicking human anatomy, like what's beneath your skin. For example, if we have a quick look, face anatomy. There we go, and let's see what comes up. Image, and let's have a look at this one. So straight away, you see similarities. So we have around the eyes, around the mouth, and these connecting tissues. So let's go back to our, so around the eyes, those eyes, mouth, and see these connective tissues. They are take notice that they in general flow in similar directions, and that's important because that's vertexes do have a preferred direction to go in. Oh, I deleted that. So if we just go back to Sketchfab and get back into this. So they do have a specific directions. Every vertex can go like any direction, sure, but they do prefer to flow along these edges. and that's why you have these the flow going around, the flow going around, the different directions, this different topology. So that basically constructs the topology. So you can have all of this movements in your face. So all right, that's a quick review of what topology is. So before I start, I have a few shortcut keys that I set up for myself. So this is to increase my productivity, and these four are my main ones. I have a few more, but they are very specific. So these four are in general, and it is really easy to set up. You need to, as yourself, you need to actually create your own, what you prefer. Think about what you use all the time when you're in 3ds Max. Just think about that, and then just say, okay, I'm gonna tie this to a key, because every keystroke will save you maybe half a second, and over a day that adds up. All of this is saving your time that you could have spent on something else. So those are mine, and yeah, so let's get started. So rid of this. All right. So for time's sake, I have already set up the character, front, side, and this one I think I got a back as well. So a back. I generally don't use the back that much, but yeah, it's always nice to have. Otherwise, you know guessing what it looks. So okay, let's get started. So yeah, where is? Yep. So now with this character, just remember this when you are starting to model your character, that this you should model them in this order. For example, I have this color coded, so I generally always start at the green. So that's my number one, creating that circle around there. And then I have the orange, creating the circle there, and then I go for the red, and then the blue. The yellow is not that important, but yeah, I have in there. So I go for that next. And then when you have these structures down, when you have those loops down, then it's just a matter of just connecting everything, and that's easier when you have, you're building a house. Then you need the scaffolding first before you put the walls in. So that's what we are doing here right now. So it's I'm hoping to get those three areas. Oh no, one, two, three, four areas, main areas done today. So let's get started. So in general, I start with cylinder in front view, just like that. Now there's I do this in a very specific way. For example, when I'm creating the cylinder, I'll take this down to 0. It has to be 1, and then I either have 8 or 16 sides. And the reason for this is I'll show you. So this, okay, so that's 2, that's good. So if I have this, duplicate this first, okay, and I have turned it to 8. All right, so if I want to actually cut this, see, there's no vertical cut that I can use. There's no vertical. I can only cut here, right? So if I have my 8 one, 8 is great because I can actually turn this into a quad really, really easily. For example, let me convert this to one. So if I want to cut this in half and use symmetry, I can, no problem. If I want to turn this into a quad, no worries. just delete those, and now my model is completely quad. Same with 16, but you can't really do that neatly with some other numbers. So I generally tend to stick to these numbers because they are convenient. All right, so let's get started with these. Okay, so Alt X for see-through. I don't need the back. Delete the back. And I don't need the center either. Oh, so get rid of that. So cool, I have this now. This is the beginning of my eye. Oh well, the loops beside the eye anyway. So get that, and then I'll select all of these to actually form this better. See, the problem with this character is some of the eyes is hidden. So I might as well go on to the other side because that eye is not completely hidden, and rotate it a little bit, maybe scale it up a little bit. I know that scaling up might not be the best idea, but for this, that's fine. We're gonna reset the X form later on. So that, yeah, I'm semi happy with that. So do some minor adjustment. See, it's not very clear, but that's up to you as an artist to fix that up later on. And you should always have kind of a reference outside on your other screen because you can get better resolutions. And it's really all up to you how to you interpret this shape. And for now, I'm having it like that. Say yeah, I'm semi happy with that, and just scale that down a little bit and bring this in. Oh, a little bit. Notice how I don't even have this. I never click on. Oh, not never. I can't say I never click, but I usually don't. I have my, if I want to select vertex, I press 1. If I select edge, I press 2. If I select free border, 4 is face, and that's part of my muscle memory. So I don't actually go in here and click on this. I do sometime when it's convenient, but generally I don't. That's another thing. That's another thing that will save me time in the long run. Okay, so let's. So we are not trying to mimic this exactly. We are happy-ish with this. Okay, so now I have this. It is well, actually it's quite good. It's in the right spot. So what I do next? See, now the I have a problem. See how, where is that? Okay, why is it that way? So the pivot is, oh, all the way over here. It's not in the center. Well, we have to fix that. So affect pivot only, center to object. That fixes the problem. And yeah, I'm semi happy with that. Okay, now the next step is a little bit tricky as well. So let's, I always generally do reset X form first because that, notice how before reset, uh, damn, before the X form, before it was like really skewed, the X and Y is not correct, but after export, we can have this. So now if I want to move, it's in X and Y aligned to the world essentially. Um, let's move that, affect pivot only again to the center, affect pivot off, and now we can do a symmetry. Once that symmetry modifier is applied, then yeah, I'm happy with that. Convert that down to a poly, and I don't want that side anymore. So now I can do this. I can rotate it a little bit, bring it back a little bit like that. All right, that's fine. That looks okay. Notice that this side, the side I'm working on, is a little bit different from this side. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just move it. It's all up to you as an artist. It's a lot of it, yeah, some 3D artists get big money to create characters, and that's really, it's all up to you as an artist, how you want to interpret that shape. And those little things are actually what makes uh, your stuff yours. So we are all artists that will be working for money. Unless you're rich, you'll be working for money, meaning that you'll be working for someone else. You will have someone else's concept, you will be doing their work. And that's the reality of things. And how do you get yourself into it? Pixel animators or pixel modelers, they have little Easter egg that shows that, oh, this is me. And, before there was a time where we don't get our names into credits. So that's one of the ways that they got their name into the film. So the same way here, every little way you do your topology, how you do it, and the little quirks you put in, that's you. That's how you interpret that, and no one can really take that away from you. So that's okay as long as you develop your own thing. People will pay good money for it. All right, let's continue on with this. So once I have this, right, once I have now this shape, obviously a eye socket is not gonna be like that. So now this is where you gonna find references, better references, like face anatomy or something like that, And now it's time to bring this back. First step is to try to align that up a little bit better. And if you look in the mirror, these parts are actually pushed in a little bit more. And this one like this. Now this is not going to be perfect, but this is closer to what your head would be looking at that angle. And probably I want this to be a little bit further back, and same here. Maybe this a bit forward. Yep, and yeah, about there. So constantly adjust your thing, your model. And here I probably bring this out a little bit like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. This one is fine for now, but we will be doing more on it later. So yeah, so right now it's all about getting that scaffolding in. All right, so now that I have this, I'm actually quite okay with that. All right, so what I do is next is basically creating the bridge. So what we are gonna create next is this. Let me bring up so the bridge between these two. All right, I should have colored that, but I didn't, so we just have to accept that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just that, and scale in y-axis, no, x-axis, sorry, and that will bring that like that. Maybe bring it out, and I can just right-click here, done. So I have the bridge between that. I generally like to put in another edge here. Yeah, I can do that later. No worries. So we can have this. And what do I do next? Well, quite easy. Well, we just symmetry that. Flip. And when it comes to symmetry, this is what you want to see when you symmetry. This means that everything is perfectly aligned. Okay, if you see nothing, that's good news. And you flip it, and voila, and you have that symmetry. I generally convert that, and then look at there and bring that out. So now I have the bridge between these, like yeah, and then add another one, and go here, pull that out, and maybe pull that out a little bit. I don't care about the other side. I'm a lazy person, so I would delete that anyway later on. So now that I have that, that is the basis for our model, the eye area anyway. So let me bring back that. So now I have that. I will create the orange around there. See that? All right. So how do I do that? Well, very, very easily. So just select, go and select border like that. So that's your border. Okay. Scale, hold down shift, boom, done. See again, it's not perfect, it's fine. All right, now that I have that, I don't need the other one. I don't need the other side anymore. That's all good. So I just gonna adjust the things here a little bit. The node's a little bit weird. So go here and yeah, I can add another one in here, but I can do that later. It's okay. So adjust it a little bit, adjust this part a little bit, maybe bring it down. So it's a constant back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know, you need to adjust this. You add something, you adjust it. You add something, you adjust it. That's gonna be eternal. You're always gonna be doing that. Nothing comes out perfectly. So yeah, that's closer. I would like actually edge here and maybe put it in here. All right, so adjust it. Um, Now here's another thing that would be your best friend. Shift X. What Shift X does is this: switching between none constraints and edge constraints. So what does it mean? Well, if I go like I want to slide along this edge here, right now I can't. And if I show you, it's gonna be weird. But if I shift X, slide, look at that. That's now sliding according to the edge. And it's one of the most useful things you can have. It's really, really good. All right, so if you can remember that, just yeah, remember that. It's gonna help a lot. So here I got well, how happy am I here? Yeah, not really that happy. So I just adjust. Oh, Shift X, get rid of that. There, there, and get it back a little bit, get it back a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect right now, but get it to somewhere okay-ish, where you say, yeah, all right, that I can accept that. So here, see how this is not flowing. Let's go again, and then there's a kink. I just fix that, move it up, take it back a little bit, about there. So now that yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So let's just continue on. So oh, that's not there. There. So now I'm happy with this. I can actually bring the symmetry back and see how that looks. Well, yeah, we still need to adjust it, but that's a good beginning. Okay, now that we have that, let's deal with the mouth. How long do we have left? Oh, 34 minutes. So that's cool. So we go cylinder. Again, this is how I generally start my things. So yeah, keep that. 8, because it's a game character, 8 is fine. I think 8 is appropriate. So let's just go here. Okay, just draw one out around the same size as your mouth. Just go, okay, I'm happy with that. Convert that into a poly. Delete the backside. Delete the backside of this. Boom, gone. And yeah, delete the center of this. So once that's done, let me just turn this off. Just give me a sec. Okay, so now that we have that, again, same deal. Go and align up, Alt X. Okay, so this is really, 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 oh, well, I can't see it. So now what do we do? Well, one thing is you can reference. Go to YouTube, not YouTube, image on Google, search for lips, and you will find tons of them. But for our purposes, I have the bigger one right here. Character. Let me just find it. Character work. Sintel reference. Here we go. So we have a big one here, right here. So I will. Okay, so quite a little bit childish, but still, like it's a teen girl. So let's. It's got quite large underlips. Okay, cool. So I got a general idea. I will. You guys won't be able to see it, but I'll have it up on the other side and zoomed in on the mouth area. Okay, so that's my reference. Now that I have that, I center that and scale it to uh, about yay size. Again, it doesn't matter now, but we will fix this scaling issue. That there is a scale value on that. There's a scale value here. We'll fix that. No worries. But right now, I just this goes faster when I do it this way. It's all about time. It's you as an artist, you are always battling with time versus quality, time versus quality. Every single day is time versus quality, and generally time wins. You can argue for better quality, but for most times, yeah, time wins. So yeah, you just have to deal with that. But this, if you do it quick, then you can get more stuff in compared to if you have to click around different buttons, and the more efficient you are, the faster you can do your stuff, and the easier is it to get what you want. All right, so cool. I generally align this up like center, like there, and I like, actually I gonna add one now like this to create that little up. I'm aligning this to the outer lips. The inner lips, we can deal with that later, no problem. But it's a step-by-step process. There's structural lines right there. Okay, so it looks like it goes a little bit up. So like there, and I'll take this in. Yeah, let's get rid of the other side. I don't like that. So get it down a little bit. Actually, I actually gonna add another one. So now here's another trick that I use a lot. I gonna chamfer that like there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So this, the corner of the mouth is quite unique in terms that it needs to move a lot. So yeah, we need to put in some. I might even cut in another one like right there, but that's, remember that it is easier to have too little and cut in more detail later than having too much and gonna take out. That's gonna be a lot harder. Okay, so yeah, yeah, I'm semi happy with that. Okay, next step. Well, again, we have the same problem. I'll probably symmetry that first. Symmetry, flip, convert to poly. And the reason for that, if I go affect pivot only, center to object, that the pivot would be in here instead of absolute center of the object. So that's why I mirrored over. All right, so now that we have that, I'm just gonna be pulling this out a little bit. And if, have a good look at your own lips or a lip reference. Your lip, the this most outer part here is actually, not the center. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, so now that I have that, I know that it is semi in the center. Now is a time of, oh, sorry, uh, getting it to line up again. Okay, so now I know that the front view, I know that that lines up. I don't need to worry about that. But now let's do the side view. So I grab the corners first because they are the easiest to position and align to the corner. See now that this is not aligned at all. But in a front view, it is. It kind of is, right? Okay, so obviously there's a problem. So how do we check that? Well, no problem. Hide selection, create a box, give a bit of that, and there are very specific structural lines here. So for example, I don't, I'm gonna delete this anyway later on, so I just need a line really. So I'm just gonna go like this. Actually, it's good to have one at the bottom and then one at the top, and then whatever I want to check. Well, I want to check that, and I want to check this. Okay, so let's have a look at the left. Well, the left, it seems like it is that the left is off. Okay, so let's fix that. How do we fix that? Well, on freeze all, there is several ways to fix that. You can, I think the scale is off a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is go UV map here and gizmo, just scale that up a little bit uniformly. Okay, so like that. It's a little bit of fiddling around, but let's get that working. I want to have one value. There you go. So let's have a look. About there-ish, then move it down a little bit, scale it up a little bit more. I really should have checked this, but I didn't. So now I have to pay for it. So about there. It's still off. Well, we just have to interpret them. No problem. Let's just accept that these are not lining up perfectly. And this is a good opportunity as well. That front and side is not lining up. That's great. We can do our magic. We can do our own magic for them. So, okay, fine. Unhide all. Okay, so we know that these doesn't line up. Yeah, all right, no problem. Let's just, I'm just gonna go and do this and line them up. I want to line them up. Front is our main, okay? This is our main view. Everything should line up to this view. So I'm gonna line the left view to our main view. Okay, so yeah, that's okay, cool. So once I have dealt with that, just get all of these references and freeze them again because I don't really want to be selecting them. Okay, so I know that this is these corners is in the right place, so I deal with the next one now. The next one is let's have a look around there-ish. So let's just make that. So go left view, and now you have to use your head a little bit here. You have to like, all right, this is about where it is. A check I always do on to myself is, does this shape make sense? Does this look like a lip? Oh yeah, that one is gonna go there. So does this look like a lip? I always ask myself that question. Does this look like a lip or a beginning of one? Uh, yeah. As of now, meh, not really. But we haven't finished. That other side is distracting me. And notice how much I am deleting and bringing that other side back. It's it's easier to remove, just reality of things. So, and it's easy to, what operations are easy is very important. It's good to know. Um, for example, I know that deleting is really easy. I can just bring everything back using symmetry, taking no time whatsoever. So these, I think these are too forward. So let's bring this back a little bit there, and this back about there-ish, because we are not actually constructing the lips just yet, but we will be doing it later on. So this is okay-ish. Okay, we can live with that for now. Okay, like there and there. Bring this back, adjust it a little bit so it's not too much of a difference. So here, okay, I'm semi happy with this. It's gonna look very very weird, but either way. So let's symmetry that, flip, convert that to a poly, get that to the center of things. Okay, so now we have, uh, yeah. Okay, I think I know what's the problem here. It's too little. So getting that forward. Yeah, all right. Say let's we are happy with this. And I want to bring this forward a little bit, like these sections. Okay, does this make sense? Well, yeah, ish. Okay, so let's say that's passed. How do we do the inner one then? Well, very easy. Boom. Okay, next is, well, now that I have that, bring it out. Bring it out. And the upper lip, bring it down. Bring it down. So beginning of the lip here, okay, that's good. But the corner needs to go in though. So again, I'm not caring about the other side of things. That's fine. Okay. So let's align that up with there. There. Okay, fine. It's making me crazy. Going. So symmetry that. Ooh. Symmetry that. Flip. Okay. So mm, I'm not happy with that. Oh, I'm I'm ugh, I'm not happy with that. So bring it back out a little bit. So that's good. That's I'm trying to see it the matching. Let me see the okay, so about there coming down a little bit. I think I need another one. But let's okay. What I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna do let's line this up so the major parts are actually coming in here. Okay, the major parts. So she got that coming down, and that this coming down a little bit, and this coming up. Get that lip in place. All right, and again, these are just placeholders. So collapse 2, and now bring that in. The inside of the mouth, yeah, about there-ish. I'm happy with that. And add that in. So, and now it's a matter of coming down. So getting it in there, yeah, getting that. See, every time I make a change, I need to make a change somewhere else as well. It's that's just modeling. It's one change have a knock-on effect on the other changes. So uh, I'm actually gonna leave this as it is because yeah, I'm bored with this area. Yeah, and also yeah, see, I just said that I'm bored with this area. That's fine. Do something else. Come back to it later. So go there, symmetry, flip, and make sure you have. Now there is, if I have this is fine, right? But it can weld together, so I just gonna go like that and making sure that they will not weld together. Okay, yeah, I just gonna go like that. Okay-ish. I'm semi-happy with it. I'm not 100% happy with it, but that's later on. Now I want to go through a little bit. Um, see, I never use Turbo Smooth. I never use it. I try to avoid Turbo Smooth wherever I can. Reasoning for that is because you need to, your model will not have Turbo Smooth, especially when you're doing stuff for games. You will never use Turbo Smooth. And if your model relies on Turbo Smooth to look good, then what good is it? So I never ever model with Turbo Smooth on. And also I actually removes all of the smoothing groups. So if this the reason for this is if my model can appear to be the shape I want without turbo smooth, without smoothing groups, then it will look good in the game engine. That's my logic anyway. So it's up to you if you want to follow that or not. But it is a good practice to practice your modeling without turbo smooth. I know it's a sometimes it's a blessing turbo smooth, but yeah, in the long run, you'll get more jobs if you can have that skill of not using turbo smooth. All right, that I'm not too happy with. I'll fix it later. Okay, so let's see. Let's reference back to our model, the So we have dealt with that, the red. Now let's do the blue. The blue, mm, how do we deal with that? Well, let's just do this way. We probably need to extend this and go to left view and move this back a little bit. And see, I added that, so now I have to adjust it. Cool, cool, cool. All right, adjust there. Don't be afraid to add geometry. If you need the geometry, add the geometry. Ask yourself, is this geometry doing any good? Is it adding anything to my model? So if that's yes, add it. If it's no, well, don't add it, I guess. Yep. So there, I don't like this at all. Add, cool. That the why did I do that? Well, how can I tell why that is not? Well, look, I have a nice and even. It's like this size and then a little bit bigger, and this is huge space. That is not pretty. So I'll just add another one to do that. So, but because I did that, a good model generally have the same amount of spacing or the same amount of rows or between up and down, the upper lip and further down. Uh, so I would actually have to add one here, like there, and this one I'll just bring out a little bit, probably there-ish. Yeah, it's a little bit wonky. That's fine. We'll fix it up later. I'm actually gonna add that. See how this fanning out is great, but there's a big gap there. So I'm just gonna add that in. That helps with the edge as well. But you will see a lot of game models actually only have two. Those are mostly for mobile games. But yeah, if you got the budget, put it in. But I'm under the assumption that I do, so so I'm gonna add that in. Okay, so now I have this, and I am actually quite happy with it. So I'm just gonna move this out. So take this down a little bit, form it a little bit more. Again, delete, symmetry, bring that back, flip, convert, polygon. Cool. So now I have that, and it's a bit closer to where we want to end up. See, now I saw that there's something wrong here, so I'll fix that up. And here, maybe push that back a little bit, push that in. I only care about one side, the other side I don't care about at all. So now that we have this, come in, okay, cool. Almost done with the red area. Okay, to do the blue area now, we need to actually put them together, attach it. So now that it's attached, we need to connect them. And an obvious question now is, well, they are quite, when in terms of density, they are quite different. That's okay. Well, we can just add more. Okay, so first off, let's check our reference. Okay, so I said she got a little button nose right there. Okay, cool. So let's do this now. Let's just do a little bit of structuring. Well, so first things first, let's get this. Now the techniques I'm using is called edge modeling. This is my favorite technique, and you as an artist might have something else. It's really up to your preference. No one can say that, oh, this is better. This is you should do it this way. Not really. If you this is how I do this. So this head, this is how I build the head, and this is how the processes I go through to construct this head, right? And if you have a different one, that's fine. As make it work. Anything is fine as long as you get your stuff done on time and to a good quality. And no one will ever say, "Oh, dude, you have to do it that way." Well, some people might, but I generally ignore them. I just do it my way because it's faster, and yeah, this is how I deal with things. So okay, so now that we have that, let's bridge that. Right click, bridge. Where's bridge? Oh, not here. So bridge is here. Bridge. Uh, bridge. Where? Ah, here. Bridge. I suck at finding stuff. Okay, so now pretty much there we have the beginnings of our character, right? So let's check the front view. I think her nose is a little bit strange, so I'll fix that up now. So bring that in. Yeah, all right. I'm happy with that. And the next step is basically doing the blue, right? The oh, why is that? Okay, strange. Yeah, we're gonna do the blue, the belt that goes around there. So how about we actually nose-wise? I just gonna adjust the nose a little bit first before I go any further. And this, see how this is nicely flowing down? Well, let's adjust that so it does here too. I most likely will have to add another one. You see the reason very soon. Okay, so let's get these and get rid of these and scale to create the blue. All right, so now I just gonna go and connect these up. Actually, this and this, and just a good old bridge. Where? Ah, here we go. Bridge. Yeah, about there. About there-ish. Okay, now this is gonna be a little bit of gonna take a little bit to sort out. So you have this coming back, you have this coming back, there, going back. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, all of this, bring it back a little bit. I like these to be a little bit further down. Bring this back up. So the fanning thing, okay, geometry is good. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this as a gaping hole right here. It doesn't make sense right now, but it will later on because we, as the model progresses, you will see different things in the model that need to be fixing, and sometimes it just doesn't make sense with too little information. So I generally just leave it for now. Whatever it doesn't make sense to me, I just leave it for at that moment and see coming back later on. And look, I fixed up that area, and now let's just bridge these areas. So, oh, what? Yep. So now go there, and bridge. Let's bridge. Uh, okay. I can't find it. Here we go. There. And this one I'll bridge to there. And let's just adjust it a little bit first. Coming here. The more you add, the more it will make sense. So for example here, bridge. Again, why is that so far down? Yep. So I have another one coming down here. Okay. I probably will have to add more geometry to the eyes, but for now, let's just leave it as it is. So if I add one here, I have to add one here. Well, you don't have to, but it's good practice. And here, let's. Oh. Um, Let me just fix this up. Edit. So you can actually go and drag this to the order you like. So surface division, I don't like that to be there. So I edit edge should be around there. So you don't have to go all the way. I'm more happy with that. Bridge, cool. So about there-ish, I'm happy with that. And I will have to add another one here. Actually, let me just do this first before I do that. So bridge, and now see how this is a gaping hole here almost. So it's too much. So I'll just add one in, and now you can see that it's the beginning of her cheeks. Just getting that out, getting there, and yeah, okay. All right, so let's have a look what we have. Okay, so that's okay. Now this doesn't make sense to me, so I'm just gonna make this coming forward a little bit. Yeah, about there. And I will bring this out a little bit. And now I'm gonna show you a really good tool that I use all the time. Should I? Nah, I'll do that later. Symmetry, flip, convert to, edit poly. Okay, so now obviously, so I get a lot of questions on how do I get my mesh to look very uniform. Well, the way I do it is this. So let me get that back. I think it's on the freeform. Freeform. Where is that? Here we go. Freeform, paint, deform. Okay, so I use the push and pull and get it down. Now, this is another reason why I'm not spending a lot of time on a lot of things right now, because I'm gonna lose volume, a lot of volume. So shift a little bit more. So I'm gonna go in here. And also I'm gonna go and get rid of all of the shadings, clear all, smoothing groups. So yeah, go and smooth that, much better. Okay, cool. Smooth that, make it a little bit larger, like that. Okay. Okay, I probably need to add more over there. Okay, cool. So over here, same thing here, same thing. Just relax that a little bit. Cool. Relax that, relax that. All right, I'm happy with that ish as a start. Okay, so now what do I do? Well, my favorite thing. Let's delete the other side. Because the other side, oh, no, I don't want to delete everything. What? Okay, so something odd is going on. Convert that at poly and get this. Oh, it's not working. Well, oh, either way, our hour is up. I'm gonna try to get this to delete the other side. Ah, sometimes bugs like this happen. I just add another edit poly on top of it, convert to edit poly, and this should fix our problem. If not, if it's persistent, that means that you need to restart Max. It's just something I found out by working with Max for a long time. All right, guys. I will be putting this up on Sketchfab on this side. Let me just models. So I will be putting this on Sketchfab, and you guys can come in and have a look at today's progress. And I'm hoping that we can do this next week again and continue on the head and how I deal with the back of the head, the chin, and how to model out different parts. For example, the nose. How do we deal with the nose and stuff like that? So I'm hoping that we can do the whole character and use and this is for you guys to use as a reference. You can always say, I'm not sure how to do the head, specific part around the eye. Okay, go and have a look. Yeah, so thank you for attending, and I'll see you next time. Any questions, by the way? If you have any question, just type in. We can have a few minutes about questions. Anyone? So cool, cool. All right, cool. Then this will be up on what's it called? The library. I need to sort it out with IT how to do that. But yeah, so we can you can always refer back to it later on. All right, thank you for attending, and yeah, see you next week. I think it's gonna be the same time, but I'll check with Daniel to see if this slot is open, and if if not, we will tell you when. Okay, have a good one, guys.